Hey everybody, this is week 1 content, um, understanding the customer and personas. I'll go ahead and get started. My name is Sach, and we'll be getting into the content. So personas, what are they? Why do we need them? So the definition of a persona is a fictional person that represents the significant behaviors of a group of people in the real world. In this case, are the people who will be using the product. A persona is a psychological portrait of the individual. In this case, it will be the user and their environment. A persona gives PMs insight into who the user is, what their behaviors are, what actions the user might take to meet their needs, behaviors, and concerns. Then a PM can develop scenarios based off the user persona. PM can use these scenarios to develop use cases, which are used to create a roadmap. Before creating a persona, make sure to know who your target group of users are. How to create a persona. You will be conducting user research, which is who are the users, what are they using the product, why are they using the product, what goals are they trying to achieve, and find target groups. Keep these target groups as a baseline, since this is the group of people who the product is primarily targeted toward. Gather information about the users, so gather data on them using surveys, interviews, or focus groups. When it comes to business, B2B, gather information on company and what industries they serve, position at the company of the person whom you're speaking with, who are the decision makers of the company, how do they communicate with vendors, how do they evaluate vendors, what do they ultimately look for. Also look for company culture, beliefs, and mission statements. Now going to business to consumer, B2C, think about the consumer, like personal demographics, age, level of education, location, etc. What are their goals and what challenges do they face in achieving them? Whether they use something like your product and why, what are they looking for? Understanding what do they do on their leisure time, which can be social media or different entertainment sources. Means of staying informed about the product. Now going into startups and new products. This is still possible to conduct research. To do this, you reach out to connections to ask questions, join organizations and reach out to them, ask prospective clients to participate in the survey or interview. If companies have existing users, start with them as a user base. If they're a competitor, speak to their customers and start from there. And make sure to record every bit of information. Going into condensed data and information and look for patterns. So find out what patterns emerge from the people who have been interviewed and what they're looking for. Look for themes and correlations between certain characteristics of the interviewees / surveys. Organize these elements / data points into different categories that represent target groups, whether in portion or in entirety. Go ahead and combine the elements of a group into a rough persona, then redefine these personas. Going into the elements of a persona, which are persona group, background, role, goals and challenges, demographics, and a picture that represents your group. Now let's talk about use cases. What are they and how to come up with them? A use case is a description of the way a user wants to use a product. After creating a persona, build use cases. Each use case consists of a primary actor. This is where the user is interacting with the product to achieve the goal of the primary actor, the starting conditions, which are the conditions that the interaction will take place in, trigger conditions, these are the need/problem that will initiate the interaction, ending conditions, the specific change that has occurred since the start conditions. Use cases will be needed for each goal, and the most likely start conditions, as there can be many start conditions. Use cases will then be used to create a user flow and then will be translated into product requirements. Now going into success metrics. So what are success metrics? A metric is a quantitative measurement that can be used to track a process. An example would be the number of new monthly users. Key performance indicator, KPI, is a metric that is used to track and define the success of a product. An example is increase the number of new users from 20 to 40 in a month. Competitive analysis. What is it and why do we do it? Method of analysis that serves to assess and evaluate the competition's companies, product and marketing strategies. And so why do it? We do it to obtain information on what competitors are doing and how this will affect your success in the market. Find areas of improvement in competitors' products that your products can improve on. Uncover market segments that are not fully served by competitors. Capitalize on gaps between what competitors offer and what customers need. And how to do competitive analysis. Identify the competition. So make sure to include all competitors or as many as you can. Big and small companies include top competitors and competitors who may not be as big but are looking to target the same audience with the same type of solution for the same problem. Direct versus indirect. Direct is where competitors who offer products that can be substituted with yours and aim to fix the same problem as your product. Indirect, competitors who offer products that are not the same, but still aim to fill the same need or solve the same problem as your product. Find out what products the competition offers. Low cost versus high cost provider. So low cost providers want to sell their products at the lowest price they can while still making a profit. This can be done to bring more customers to them. High cost providers are focused on providing higher quality products for higher cost. Usually they aim to attract a more specific group of customers. What are the characteristics of their customers? What are their needs? And who are they targeting? You also want to ask what their market share is, how much of their market share are they capturing, what products and services do they offer, which of these products are you competing with, research the competition's sale and strategy. So here we're going to ask, how are they reaching their customers? What communication channels are they selling through? This can be social media. How does social media factor into their marketing strategy? How are they optimizing their SEO? And what gaps are there? You also want to ask, is there an established product or are they fairly new? Are they trying to increase market share or are they trying to retain existing customers? How well is their product doing? How are their sales revenue? How are their salespeople involved in the process? What do their products do? How do they get customers to use it? Analyze competition's content, so different marketing materials and their mediums. So these mediums can be websites, social media, blogs, online ads, offline ads, videos, events, customer resources, press releases, and partnerships. And then you're going to be comparing their products to your products. And so you'll be performing a SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. You'll be talking about strengths, which are what you're doing well at, what your advantages are, what attracts customers to you over your competitors. And then you'll be talking about weaknesses. These are what you can improve on in your organization or with you. What are you lacking in? What weaknesses do your competitors see in you? And how are they doing better than you in this regard? Look at opportunities. What are the latest market trends? What portions of the market are not being served by anyone? What things outside your organization can you use to your advantage? What weaknesses do your competitors have that you can capitalize on? And lastly, threats. What things outside your organization can harm/hurt your sales and draw customers away from your product? What market trends are hurting you? What trends within your organization may hurt you in the future? And then you would continue to keep updating your analysis as things can change. In summary, we talked about identifying target audience, building personas to represent target users, build use cases from these personas, identify which metrics you are going to use to define success and KPIs, and using competitive analysis to identify competitors and their strategies. And questions.